what's up, people? This is Devi Dev from Team S2N, and I'm bringing out another deck profile. Well, no, I just had it just a little while ago.
Keep going.
Okay,
I ain't
fine.
editing this shit out.
Okay, fine.
Better talk.
I'm bringing out a deck profile. Like, I'm talking about that Ninja Clan. Yep, the one I should have brought up a long time ago.
Stop ninja slamming your hands.
Fine. I always slam my hands. That's how I do it. I'm bringing out that Ninja Clan. You know the one. The hand signs, the believe it bullshit. Run around with your hands behind your back and all that stuff. I'm talking about Nubatama. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Murakumo. It's a Murakumo deck profile. And about to show it to you right now. So, grade 3s, we are playing 4 of the Cell Rogue of Trial Yasuie. He is the main grade 3 that I'm going to use.
Hey, what do you do?
Oh, what he does is he has Shadow Stitch. Do you know what Shadow Stitch does? Huh?
Nah, man, what that do?
You know, like if anything attacks the Vanguard, doesn't hit, I get a strong ass ability. So, his Shadow Stitch on Vanguard and Vanguard, if his attack does not hit, I could draw one and choose a card from my hand and put it to the bottom. So I'm just filtering my deck. And his other ability. and his other ability, when I strike counterblast 1, I could choose anybody on my field, including my Vanguard, and I superior call it from my deck, and it gets an additional ability, another Shadow Stitch ability. So when that happens, I can return this guy back to my hand. So I can actually get 2 abilities off for that. And next I am playing 4 of Furious Hair Selfing Ikaku. His skill is when he's placed on Vanguard Rigor, I can choose another Rigor unit on my field and put it to the bottom of my deck, and it gets plus 5,000 until the end of turn. And his Shadow Stitch on Vanguard Rigor, GB1, Counterblast 1 at the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard that didn't hit. I can choose a grade 1 or a grade 2 from my drop zone, and I can search another copy of that from my deck and superior call it, and that card will go to the bottom of my deck. Grade 2s. Self Rogue of the Envy. Inkyu. I barely use his skill, but he's in there just for his second ability. Shadow Stitch, Rearguard GB1 at the end of the battle that he didn't hit the Vanguard. I can choose one of my Rearguard units and it gets plus 2,000 power, and it can attack from the back row. And when he's placed, for every Yasuie in his name, that includes when I stride as well with my Vanguard hard Yasuie, he gets plus 2,000 power. So there's like 2 of them, one on the hard, one on the Vanguard circle, the stride. He gets 4,000 power. 4 of one of the main bosses for the grade 2 lineup. Self Dragon Yasubayashi. His skill GB1, Soul Blast 1 when he's placed, pay the cost. He gets plus 2,000 power and the additional Shadow Stitch ability. If he doesn't hit, counter charge 1 and give a unit plus 2,000 power. And his other auto ability, which is as long as I have a grade 4 or greater Yasuie Vanguard, he can attack from the back row no matter what. And he has to attack a Vanguard from the back row no matter what. You can't attack anybody else while he's in the back row. Such a sad day. And then we got the greatest grade 2 card that hit in BTO 13 in the G series. Self Rogue of the Revenge. Yes, Self Rogue of Revenge. Ubushi. His first skill, which works around like one of those stupid ass decks like Kagero, Link Joker, and all that stuff. Like when he's chosen by my opponent's ability, I can send up to 2 cards from my Rigor circle, and then if I return 1 more cards, I can search up to 2 more of these guys. So you can actually choose himself to search out 2 more copies of him. But there's a ruling on Ubushi. So if he gets targeted by Link Joker, if he gets locked, you can still return him back into the deck because it's not targeting Rigor units, it's targeting cards. So yeah. And if he's like targeted and gets killed by like Kagero, Narukami, all that stuff, Like, if he gets killed off, I can't return him back, according to the rulings, but I can return anything else. So I can get 2 Oboshis. Well, haven't been able to use that skill at all for the whole time since I have him. I'm waiting for that chance. But his other ability makes up for that. GB2 once per turn at the end of the battle that any unit did not hit the Vanguard. Pretty much, he becomes 7,000 power and he can attack from the back row as long as I have Yasuie Vanguard. Such a great card. Grade 1s, I'm playing the Countercharge Flipper. You should know she is the perfect guard. It only works for the Vanguard only to get her effect up for her perfect guard effect and with the countercharge. And she's a Sentinel. Nothing else you could talk about. It's just a stupid perfect guard. Strike Fighters, you know him. I'm playing 4 of them. And you know his rear guard ability. You can place him on the rear guard circle, reveal a grade 3, and search your deck for any Yasuie and discard it. I'm playing 4. Selfing, Entertainment, Sebe. This is pretty much just like the grade 2 and the grade 3. And also the grade D. Kaku does work on your lock cards as well. But still, he has 2 abilities. Activates once per turn, counter +1. I can choose any card from my drop zone, triggers, stuff I need from my drop zone to put it back in my deck. And I can choose 2 units. One only gets minus 5k. And the other one will get plus 5,000 power into the end of turn. And he will go back to my hand after that. And then GB1, while he's in my hand, Soul Blast 1, discard him, and then choose a card on my field and place it to the bottom of my deck. Once I do that, draw 2 cards. So we plus from that. So hey, what does Pot Agree does? Stuff. This still goes around Link Joker. So great. And grade 0s, I'm playing not 1, but 2 Stealth Demon of Crow Feathers, Fugan. He is like the best starter you should actually have. Because his second ability, you rest him during the act phase. It's not GB1 restricted. You can choose any normal unit from in the drop zone and put it to the bottom, and if it has Shadow Stitch, any unit gets plus 3,000 power. And his other ability, Shadow Stitch GB1 at the end of the battle that while this card boosted and it didn't hit the Vanguard, you can move it and stand it to any open rear guard circle in your back row. So he literally becomes a very scary finisher if you go to that 1 strike. It's coming up in a little bit. That's the only use for him. Triggers, Yasuie crits, 4 of them. You know the deals. While it's on the rear guard circle, put in the soul for the cause. When you're Vanguard with Yasuie in its name attacks, put in the soul and it gets plus 5,000 power. Just the Vanguard Yasuie. For Cat Devil, put in your soul, give a unit plus 3,000 power. We are playing draws in this deck. And it has the same skill as the Cat Devil. Put in the soul, give a unit plus 3,000 power. And we are playing the new heals. When you discard her for the Generation Guard ability, you can bind her in another heal trigger, and you can either Soul Charge or Counter Charge. This deck can really Counter Blast and Soul Blast a lot in this deck. But if you're not too careful, you'll be wasting a lot of stuff. For strides, right now I'm playing 2 Rogue Deity of the 3rd realm, Yasuie Goma. His Shadow Stitch ability. When any unit does not hit the Vanguard, it has the same filter ability just like the grade 3. So in other words, draw 1, choose 1 card for your hand and place it to the bottom of your deck. And his act phase, once per turn, Persona Flip, and you can superior call up to 2 Yasui's from your G zone. So it can be anybody, but it has to be face up in your G zone, not face down. So it's usually ending up as my first stride. Use the stride skill to get another copy of Yasuie, and then use the skill. Copy another Yasuie Goma for my G zone. So without using my hand or anything like that, I got a front row attack line. One of my main man thing that really helps Murakumo a lot, Animus Demon Self Dragon, Shibaraku Buster. He is so great, but he costs a lot for the soul, but he's definitely worth it. Act phase, once per turn, GB2, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 2. Choose a card from your hand and then return one card from your drop zone and put it back in your deck. This does not work if you actually discard the card and just return it back into your deck. But anyway, when you do, you can choose any any card on your field. You can superior call it, and it gets a drive check. So normally, I usually copy my heart cards so I can get another Yasuie, so I can get the twin drive. Because it's a grade 3. If it's not a grade 3, I only get one drive check. So this should be like the main focus, just getting your grade 3 cell. But you only get the drive check only on the first swing only. And that unit will go to the bottom of your deck. We're playing for the new card, Dharma Deity of the 5th Precepts, Yasuie Genma. He's a new card from set 13. Once per turn, Soul Blast 1 during act phase, and Persona Flip him. You could choose a rear guard unit or a card in your drop zone and copy it and search your deck for another copy of it and superior call it, and it will go back into your hand. And then his Shadow Stitch GB3 on the Vanguard circle at the end of the battle that this card does not hit. I can give up to 5 of my rear guard units and they get plus 5,000 and a crit. So it's so great. Even Toby's laughing. It's such a great card. This really helps Murakumo to be more pressured. If they're at 4 damage, like, they have a choice. Either they guard it, and I still get the ability, or if take the hit, if I get a crit, hey, you're dead. So great. But this is not the only one that is pretty stupid. Tema got really great from this booster. Toby's, yeah, I see Toby. You should see Toby's face right now. He hates it so badly. Emma Stevens, Self Rogue, Yasuie Tema. He is the late game card. As long as your opponent is at 5 damage, you can kill your opponent if you do this combo correctly. The combo with him, because this really combos well with this card, but I'll explain a little bit later. So act phase, I can flip another copy of it while I have GB2 once per turn. So pretty much when anything does not hit for the additional ability, pretty much I can search another copy of it by a counter blast, and those units will stay. So it's kind of weird for Murakumo. So it's so stupid while late game. So pretty much, like, this comes very well, like I said. So if I attack doesn't hit, I can search another copy of it. So since mostly the Yasuie heart should be in there, so I'll search another copy of that. If I attack with this line, so use a skill for him, I can search another copy of it from him, and his skill will proc as well. So at the end of the battle, that since it didn't hit, for example, I can move it to an open rigger so I get in the back row, stand it, and attack again, and just keep on going, keep moving it, standing your units. If you give him enough power from triggers, even if it doesn't hit from him from your dry checks, give him the power and all that stuff, it gets very, very scary for it. So watch out, people. Watch out, people. It's very scary. But whatever. And right now I am playing the GB8 one, since in case I don't pressure enough with Tama or Gamma. His skill, GB obviously, act phase, I could choose up to 2 cards from my drop zone and return to my deck, and I search my deck up to 2 cards with the same name as this unit, and I call it the separate rearguard units, and they get the additional Shadow Stitch ability at the rearguard circle at the end of the battle here, hang on, let me give you an example. At the end of the battle that these guys does not hit, pretty much I pay the cost, discard 3, if I got that right. Yep, discard 3. And I pay the cost and move it to the Vanguard circle and sand it. So both of them got the ability. So I still get the dry check. Dry check for this one. Attack with this one. Discard 3. Stand on the Vanguard circle. Attack with it.
The fuck did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know this.
What the?
Just in case I'm lying. Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much, but it only works on the Vanguard Circle, which I checked. So, only on the Vanguard Circle, not these guys. So, I can let these guys attack, let him attack, pay the skill, discard 3, put on the Vanguard Circle, stand it, attack again. So, proc ability, doesn't hit, move it to the Vanguard Circle and stand it. So, sorry about that, people. So, it's really, really busted. Really, really busted.
That's a good GB8.
It is very
Jesus Christ.
So sorry about that. I only used this thing like only about twice, only from Mike. Has he done the deck profile yet? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he did. G-Guards. The crappy one. Endless Demon Self, Fiend, Hogan Wing. So his G-Guard ability, pretty much, I could choose any grade 1 normal unit on my field, and I can search another copy from my deck and then place it in the Guardian Circle, so it acts like a 31k shield. It's pretty pathetic, in my opinion. But I only focus on my grade 3s and my starters, so they usually won't be there. Well, yeah, it won't work. Unless you're playing, no, not even triggers. It's just terrible. 2 of Emma Stevens Self-Rogue. Sha Hajino? She is the G-Guardian Flipper from the new support with the GB8. When she's plays GB1, Counterbots 1, choose a face down G-Guardian, turn it face up. The shield will gain 10,000, so it's a 36. And also she gains invisibility until the end of turn. Yep, till the end of turn. And whenever you guard with anything, it goes to the bottom of your deck, so like triggers, the stuff you need for copying for your next plays, like Gamma, Temma, whatever, they're going back in the deck. You're fine, good sir. We're playing 1 of her because it only works against Vanguard. And she's very great for you-know-who, the damn starter. Only. She's very strong with this thing. So, when she's placed in the Guardian Circle against Vanguard, I could choose one of my rear guardians on the field and just place it on the Guardian Circle, and I search another copy of that from my deck, place it on the Guardian Circle, and that gets a 5,000 shield. You can use it for anything else, but this is pretty much the reason why I play him at 2 because of it. But I'll still get him back into my deck for some skill. So it will be ended as a 51k shield at most, unless you get triggers. I'm playing one of the new G-Guardian at the moment from the new support. So when it's placed, yeah, discard a card for your hand when it's placed on the Guardian Circle. That your Vanguard attack that your opponent's Vanguard attack for every card that your opponent has, plus 5,000 to the shield. Yeah, our G-Guardian is just not that great, so I had to bump it up to 6, which we'll see the next one right now. Screw you. That's how you pronounce it. So, discard a card for your hand if the number of your, if the number of cards in your G-Soul is 1 or more, it gets plus 10,000 to the shield. So, I really like this deck a lot. It made Toby piss off. It made Brandon drop his jaw. So much fun. So much fun. But, we are not just done yet. Here's some suggestions you can actually do. Like for your G-Zone. If you want to play more of Goma, if you wanted to, you could do so as well if you want to, just in case you don't have enough resources for like Gamma or Temma. So you can just like replace it with the GBA or with a G-Guard. Since
I would never take that GBA out. That would stay in there forever.
I'm just saying, people, if you wanted to. I'm just saying. And if you like Temma so much, you want to do more super plays, you can play 4 of them and replace it with the GBA. And the other card if you wanted to. But this deck can really Soul Blast and Counter Blast a lot. So here's some suggestions. There's only one card that I don't have with me. But, oh well. Pressure, Steaming Rogue, Shadow He-Man. She has Shadow Stitch when she's placed on the Vanguard Circle. On GB1, I can choose any Vanguard unit. It gets minus 5,000, and she'll get plus 5,000 power 10 in the turn. So she's a 13k beat stick, and her Shadow Stitch. At the end of the battle that she attack and she boosts it, If it doesn't hit, soul charge once, so the soul's definitely needed. If I actually says Shadow Stitch for her second ability, I'm very sorry, peoples. The new starter. I tried the new starter, it was good, but I'm pretty sure the guys would just agree that this thing is much better.
It moves and restands. Like, there should be no other options in life.
But his skill is that, so it's a forerunner, obviously. Put in your soul, and it's not GB1 restricted apparently. So when an attack does not hit, no, I guess it doesn't have Shadow Stitch. But if it hits while it's boosted, you can what the fuck? I barely use it. That's the problem with this thing. So let me see.
You know what you remind me of, Devin?
What?
You remind me of this kid.
Have you ever had a dream that
you can do this and that and this and some Shadow Stitch abilities?
You want him to do you so much you could do
Anyway, Brandon.
You remind me of him.
So when any attack hits a Vanguard while it's boosted with a Shadow Stitch ability, you can counter charge one, and then you can choose one card from your drop zone with the Shadow Stitch and just put it to the bottom of your deck and you draw a card. But in comparison, the starter I'm using is much better. You can play her for soul as well. So Shadow Stitch, GB1, count plus 1, put in your soul at the end of your battle that your unit with Yasuie deck and didn't hit. Pretty much you can, good grief, damn it, mom. So pretty much you can choose one of your other units and you can search up to 2 units, but it has to be, yeah, it could be any unit. Just double checking. You could call it the separate rear guard units.
The card's good, dude. The card's so good.
Yep, and then return, and you can turn one of them to your hand and one to the bottom of your deck if you want to. It's just a good way to get soul. You can play this if you want to call more stuff, or like if you want to play like Homer Raider, your Stride that gets the restand. But I don't play it, but it's just a nice suggestion just in case you want more units to attack without Genmo or Tenma or Inkaku. Toby suggested that I should play this in a way because it gives me the soul and a counter charge, which is very nice. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to do it, but I'm sticking to the build that I'm having for my trigger lineup. It's
Imagine
so
drive
great.
checking the stand with that Shadow Stitch BS.
I probably would have been dead anyway. Well, people, that is my deck profile. Sorry for the inconvenience and everybody else on the field in that damn ass video. So, subscribe to Team Yasuie. This is Dev, and I brought you Nubatama. Oh, I'm sorry, Murakumo. There's a difference. Alright, bye, y'all.